The okapi may look like it's part zebra, but its closest relative is actually the giraffe. You can tell it's related to the giraffe due to the shape of its head as well as its prehensile tongue. If you've never heard that word before, prehensile just means they grab things with it. On your left is the bongo. Bongos have very smooth, sleek horns pointed backwards, making it easy for them to sneak through the bushes without getting all caught up. There are some greater kudus. The greater kudu is one of the tallest antelopes in Africa, standing at around 5 feet at the shoulders. It's going to be kind of hard to tell, but up ahead on your left there is a black rhino sleeping against the wall on top of the cliff. Up there on your left there is a black rhino. The black rhino is the smaller of the rhinos that live on the reserve. They can only grow to be about 3,000 pounds. On your left, there's a big black and white, two big black and white birds hiding behind an upturned tree, I think. That is the saddle-billed stork. The saddle-billed stork gets its name from the yellow area near the top of the beak that kind of looks like the saddle that you would put on a horse. They have a wingspan that can reach up to 9 feet. Right now we're coming up to the Safi River. The Safi River is home to some animals that spend most of their day under the water. So while we're out here, we usually gotta look pretty closely to the water to see if there's anybody hiding out there. You might see some dark spots in the water at the very beginning of the river on your right, but if you don't worry. We're gonna do some more up ahead. Out there on your right is the pink-backed pelican. Pink-backed pelicans get their name from a pink area that comes up on their back during the mating season. On your left, in the water, is the Nile hippopotamus. The Nile hippopotamus spends most of their day under the water. They can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes. They'll even do that while they are sleeping. They'll hold their breath for 8 minutes, come back up for a gulp of air, then head back down without ever having to wake up. Even though the hippo is fully capable of swimming, they are more often found running on the bottom of the rivers. On your left is the Nile crocodile. The Nile crocodile. The Nile crocodile is the largest crocodilian in Africa. That includes crocodiles and alligators. Even though they have those big, powerful jaws that they use to help them capture their prey, they can be gentle when they want to be. Both mother and father will roll an egg around inside of their mouth to help their baby hatch. And once that baby does hatch, they can carry it around inside of their mouth to protect it from whatever's going on outside. And it looks like there's a bit of a delay up ahead. Usually happens when the animals wander in the road for a little bit too long. front of us, there is a really big tree up there by that other truck. It'll be on your right in just a second. That big tree is known as a baobab tree or a baobab tree, depending on who you ask. The baobab tree sometimes is referred to as the tree of life due to its ability to retain water. A lot of animals pick at the baobab trees during the dry season to keep themselves hydrated. We're now entering the savanna. The savanna is greatly affected by the animals that live in the area. We are going to see that there aren't that many trees out there due to the elephants bulldozing their way through the trees. We're going to see a lot of patchy areas in the grass from the antelope eating up the grass. And we're going to see that there aren't that many leaves on the bottom half of the trees because the giraffe will eat any of the leaves that they can reach. On your right, in the shade, there are some springboks lying down out there. The springbok is one of the world's smallest antelopes, so it could be a little bit hard to see. They are capable of jumping up into the air 6 feet and forward 13 feet. This process of jumping up 6 forward 13 is known as pronking. Pronking. Up ahead of us on your right, you might already be able to see the Ankole cattle, one of the only 2 domesticated species that live on the reserve. Those big horns that they have are not completely solid. They have a honeycomb-like structure on the inside, and they run blood through that honeycomb-like structure to lower their body temperature, just like a big portable radiator. On your left, laying down in the shade, there are some painted dogs. There's one over here by these logs. There's one a little bit behind us at the edge of the grass. See a few more scattered throughout the area. Painted dogs are some of the most efficient hunters in the animal world, far more successful at hunting than any of the big cat species. They gather in groups of up to 15, led by the alpha mating pair. There's an alpha female and an alpha male. There's that Ankole cattle on your right I was talking about. And coming up on our left, we're going to see the sable antelopes and the giraffes in just a moment. Sable antelopes get their name due to their reddish color. However, they get darker and browner as they get older. They have long horns pointing right back at their own bodies that will protect them from predators that try to pounce on them. There's those giraffes on your left. If you get a good look at the spots on the giraffe, you'll see that their spots have a lot of rough, jagged edges. That tells us that they are Maasai giraffes. The Maasai subspecies of giraffe.
Sorry, 23 offense on the 51 to the
Coming up on your right is the Hartman's Mountain zebra. Every zebra has a unique striping pattern. No 2 are exactly alike, just like we all have unique fingerprints. The baby zebras can recognize their own mothers just by looking at their stripes. When the zebra is born, they'll be born with their legs at nearly full adult length. The rest of their body just catches up over time. This helps make it possible for them to walk and run as soon as 45 minutes after being born. There are some more springboks way off in the distance at the crest of the hill. But again, they are very small and very far away, so pretty hard to see. Coming up on your right. Is the African elephant. If you get a good look at the ears on the elephant, you'll see that those ears kind of look like the continent of Africa. That is one of the ways that we can visually identify it as an African elephant. Elephants generally gather together in a large family unit led by the matriarch, which is the oldest female. However, once the male elephant reaches a certain age, he'll leave the family unit to live all by himself, or they'll come together in what is referred to as a bachelor group. So if you ever see an elephant all by itself, it's a pretty solid bet that you're looking at an adolescent male elephant. Down this big open area coming up on your left, we are hoping to find some more elephants out there.
Oh, you know what a big elephant. Oh my god.
You probably see those elephants out there are all flapping their ears quite a bit. The reason that they flap their ears is because the backside of the ears is packed with blood vessels. And by flapping their ears, they fan off those blood vessels, lowering their body temperatures by as much as 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. Flamboyance is the word for a group of flamingos. They get their pink color from all the brine sugar they eat. A newborn baby flamingo is gray in color, and it takes them up to 2 years of eating brine shrimp to get that pink color that we can see today.
They are pretty.
Coming up on your left is the white rhino. The white rhino is the larger of the rhinos that live in the reserve. These can grow to be anywhere between 4 and 5,000 pounds.
Oh my god. That was pretty.
Also, way off in the distance on your right, there are some ostriches out there. Largest bird in the world, and even though they cannot fly, they still got big, powerful wings that they use to help them change directions when they're running. In the middle of the circle on your left is a mud wallow. The rhinos like to roll around in the mud wallows once it gets hot enough because the mud cools them off and it protects them from the sun. Just like the sunblock that we would use. That we should use. This is probably one of the more difficult part of the morning. On your left, walk around the back. There's a cheetah back there.
Nice cheetah.
We're over here, so we can hang out here for a second. Cheetah is the fastest land animals in the world. They can run up to 60 miles per hour, but they can only hold that speed for a few hundred yards. If you get a good look at the cheetah's face, you would see a black line going from the inside of the eye to the outside of the mouth. That black line reduces the glare from the sun, making it easier for them to hunt during the day. In just a moment, we will be reaching the Kopi Rocks. Kopi Rocks gather up a lot of heat from the sun, making them nice and warm. And if you have any pet cats at home, I'm sure you know how much your cat loves to sit in a nice warm spot. Just like the cats that we are hoping to find on the Kopi Rocks, known as the lion.
Oh, you know, he's sleeping again. Very early sleeping in lion.
Lions are a nocturnal species. They prefer to hunt at night. So when we see them during the day, they are usually resting. The female lion is the one that does most of the hunting, while the male stays at home protecting his territory and watching after any young ones. just a moment, we will be reaching the edge of the reserve, which is where we will find the warden's house.
These from Safari 21.
The warden has his house on the edge of the reserve, so we can head back to Harambe Village to gather supplies. Oh, and everything. And I do believe the warden has some company over his house today.
Safari 303 in the jog. Safari 303 in the jog.
Coming up on your left is the Nigerian dwarf goat. You might be looking at some of them goats thinking that they're babies, but they are fully grown adult Nigerian dwarf goats. They spend most of their time resting and sleeping, but when they are active, they can be very playful with each other.
Very bumpy.
The Nigerian dwarf goat is a great pet for a farmer because of the amount of milk that is high in protein. And when compared to other milk-producing animals, they don't take up that much space, won't make that much of a mess. We're now headed back to Harambe Village. As we head back, I'm going to share some things that we can all do to help our animal friends. One thing that you can do is set up a bird bath or a bird feeder, which would make a great pit stop for the migratory birds feeding on their long journey. Another fun and easy activity would be to set up a butterfly garden. Butterfly gardens make a good home for the monarch butterfly, which is endangered species. If we have any wilderness explorers on board today, and if you want to get your badge for riding the safari, they might ask you the name of the truck that you're on. And the name of the truck that you're on today is the Simba 1. Simba 1 for the wilderness explorers. Now here at Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye because goodbye is just too sad. What we prefer to say is Kwaherini, which means go well. We say Kwaherini with the hope that we'll see each other again soon, and you are always welcome